The Jets, they kicked off the Aaron Glenn era with a 30-10 preseason win over the Packers at Lambeau Field. And joining me now to break it all down is ESPN New York radio host, my guy, Ty Butler, joins me now. Ty, what's going on, man?
Yo, man, we are this much closer to football season. So I'm excited.
Hey, people are excited about that. I know you're excited.
I'm excited. It is great to talk to you. It's about to get really busy with, baseball, got NBA starting up soon, football, Liberty, obviously. So I'm excited to be talking sports with you, my man. You know how.
I'm excited. It's about to be a busy time of year. Like you said, we're already talking football. Some people get really excited about the first preseason game that's going on. I like to wait till the real football, but, it is what it is. But, Ty, Justin Fields, he rushed for a touchdown on his very first drive as the Jets starting quarterback. What did that instant spark tell you about Fields and also Aaron Glenn's offense taking shape under his leadership?
Now, Fields, after the game, talked about how they emphasized a smooth operation, and we saw exactly that on that first drive 10 plays, 79 yards. He delivers twice on third down, an underneath throw, and then rushes it in for a touchdown. Now, I will preface all of my comments by saying yes, it is a preseason game, so we are not going to overreact, but I also think that it would be very concerning if in the lead up to week one of the season, you have a bunch of practices where we've seen reporters say the Jets have not performed well, and then during the preseason, Justin Fields is not getting it done. So I thought last night was a positive step in the right direction. And it was exciting to see a Jet offense score on its first offensive possession. It's been a while. So, what does it mean going forward? That's yet to be determined. But any hope of Justin Fields becoming this successful reclamation project starts with, him having a successful camp into the preseason, and then we'll see what happens during the regular season. But last night was a nice positive start.
Yeah, Ty, it's a good start for the Jets there on offense. You like what you saw from Justin Fields, and hopefully that can continue. It's just preseason game one. But despite the victory, Gang Green still struggled with penalties, as we've seen from the Jets before. So, as Aaron Glenn looks to impart his culture, are penalties something that you expect to tighten up as camp continues?
Here's how you know Jet football is back. Penalties. 10 of those things for 91 yards last night. And it is something I don't, unfortunately, Jet fans have become all too familiar watching. The ones that really nag at you the most, that become the most frustrating, are those that are like of the unnecessary roughness variety, where you see on consecutive possessions last night, guys already out of bounds being tackled. Now, I will say the context of the penalties happening in the preseason are a little bit different because these are guys trying out for the team. So it's not necessarily those players who are going to make the final 53. But yeah, if you are trying to instill a culture that deviates from Jet regimes of the past, it starts and ends with discipline. So those penalties have to be corrected. And I expect Aaron Glenn to do his best to do that. And I saw him on the sidelines, and I was on social media. Jet fans were riled up watching him in real time discipline guys as they're coming off the field. So, do I expect the penalties to clean up? Absolutely. If they don't, it is just going to be a major concern because it'll be something that, again, not too unfamiliar with and something that we've seen in the past. So, the culture starts there, cleaning up the messiness like the penalties and the undisciplined football.
Yeah, Jets fans would like to see that because they have seen this movie before when it comes to penalties. Now, last thing for me, looking ahead, what must Aaron Glenn see in the next couple of preseason games for you to feel confident that this team is ready to carry this momentum into the regular season? What does he need to see?
I think the offensive line being as good as it was last night is a tremendous sign. I've worked with guys like Bart Scott on the radio, and he obviously has, some familiarity with the Jet organization. And he's told me this is the best offensive line since Rex Ryan. So, in order for the Jets to live up to any degree of success that the highest of expectations warrant, it starts and ends with that offensive line because we know that their identity is going to be them running the football, limiting mistakes, and trying to run the football. The problem is other teams know that they are trying to do just that. So when it comes to that offense, the offensive line holding up, being able to protect the quarterback, not give up sacks, open up the running lane for the running backs. That's something I need to see. And as we just alluded to, cutting down on silly mistakes. Bet the best teams in football don't always play the best, but the one thing that they have like honed in on not doing is beating themselves. So the Jets, with the tough schedule coming up this year, their over under is 5.5 wins. They have to limit the mistakes so that they're not doing that thing that we've seen them do in the past, and that's consistently beating themselves. So offensive line play, quarterback obviously is the most important, but I want to see some discipline from this team.
Discipline is going to be the word for the Jets moving through the rest of this preseason. We'll see if they can get that done, and the offensive line can continue to play really good. That is Ty Butler. Check him out on ESPN Radio here in New York. Ty, appreciate you coming through and breaking down the Jets' first preseason game and a win they had over the Packers. Thank you.
Anytime, man. I'm always here for you, bro.